Before I get started with the recipe, I just wanted to go over a few items that I do like to use in my baking. So let me share those with you. Hi, welcome. Thank you for watching this video. I'm going to show you a pancake recipe, gluten-free, that we have been making probably over 5 years now. But I wanted to tell you a little bit about our gluten-free journey. It's been about 10 years now, really coming up on the end of September, October, is 10 years. But when my second oldest was 7, well, let me back up. In May, he was 6. He turned 7 in July. So in May, he was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. And the next appointment, we came back. They said his numbers were really high for celiac. And they let us wait just a tad bit longer, and we came back again. They said they're really high, and we went ahead and scheduled an appointment for for a scope, which came back positive. He did have celiac, so that was a little bit of a shock after finding out he had type 1. So he was 7 at the time. His older brother was 9, and he had a younger brother that would be turning 5 in that December. And then when he was 7, I found out I was expecting our 4th. So it was a busy time, and but the Lord provided in so many ways. He put people in my life that were really helpful. And I had a friend, her son and some of our other children had allergies, and I wasn't really familiar with celiac. I may have heard the gluten-free term before, but really understanding what it was, I didn't. So the reality of it really kicked in. But she was familiar with the gluten-free diet, and she actually shared this book with me. One of the first things was a gluten-free shopping guide. Now this is old, 2011, 2012. So, but that was a big help to me, because when I first walked into the grocery store, realizing I need to find some food this kid will be allowed to eat, I didn't even know where to start. I mean, I think today you go in and they'll say gluten-free, like on the Ruffles chips or whatever, but I don't think they had that. All I knew is he was not allowed to have wheat, barley, or rye. Then after talking to her and her being a help in so many other ways, I really had to find some recipes, and a lot of the recipes online, or even some of the cookbooks, were all more of a fancy food. I just wanted some. I had my boys 9, 7, and 5, and I just needed some normal food. And I came upon this book, Hybert's Gluten-Free Cooking. I think that's how you say their last name, and it was off of Milestone Books. Rod and Staff curriculum. So I found this cookbook, and they had been probably gluten-free about 10 years. So she said that she even her whole family was trying to help her and come up with these recipes, and they would be baking all the time, and they had a lot of dinners that were helpful, a lot of cookies, just basic, your chocolate chip cookie, and the boys liked them. So that was really helpful for a long time. But, and let me go ahead and get into some of the flours that I do use. Of course, one of the Bob Red Mill flour. And a lot of the Bob Red Mill stuff that I use. And there was another flour I was using, but I had ordered some because I was out and realized there is something in there that I don't like, so I had to return it. And if I can figure out how to do it, I will post the flour I used to use up here, and I'll post it below, that I'm thinking about going ahead and order, because it's a bigger bag, and I think I can get it off of Vitacost pretty cheap. I've ordered things off there before. And they also have baking soda, they have baking powder. It's harder for me to find the powder. It's a little bit more expensive. And so I try to at least find something that's aluminum free. The Zax Thumb And I have found this new brand off of Amazon, Anthony's, and this is Zach from Gum. And I have the brown rice flour from them too. And I just made some gluten-free granola bars, and I used half of the brown rice flour and half of this because I was about out. I just bought this bag today. And they turned out okay, so thankful when that happens, right? And here's another Bob Red Mills. I actually have Christmas cookies written at the top because this is the pizza crust, but I found a recipe where you make Christmas cutout cookies, and this is the closest thing gluten-free that I can find that actually works. So I might try to share that with you all in the future. This pure tapioca flour I found, it was on clearance. I went ahead and bought it. It's not necessary. At one time, I thought all these things were necessary, but they're really not. This can be a thickener. Sometimes I'll use it in place of cornstarch. I try not to do too much corn with my son who has celiac, especially. Unless it's organic, but sometimes we do. But and the Zaxxon gum is a good thickener too for like gravies, and that's what I used in my recipe that I shared once already, was the cheese sauce for the macaroni and cheese. So, and then for oats, we use Trader Joe's or Bob Red Mills. There's also another brand that I had found a while back, but I found that I could order off Amazon in pretty bulk box, and I'll try to share that up above or down below. And I don't think I have any of that. I think I just ran out recently because it lasted a long time. And we make it to Trader Joe's sometimes. They're not real close to us, but when I start running out of certain things, we'll make a trip down there. And then for sugar, I have he's type 1 diabetic also. He can have sugar, he can have carbs as long as he takes his insulin for it. But I used organic sugar or brown sugar. I tried some natural sugar like xylitol. I tried that, but I didn't know a lot about it then, and I did notice that it was bothering everybody's stomach almost immediately. And I think that is questionable right now. So, but after a few years ago, I started using coconut sugar, and I feel like that doesn't spike as bad. I do use honey for some of my recipes. Some of them I'll use half honey and half this. Honey is healthier. For some reason, I don't know if it's the other ingredients in there, but sometimes it spikes in his blood sugar and sometimes it doesn't. So I don't know. And a few years back, I was introduced to Trim Healthy Mama. It's like they have a couple moms, they have healthy cookbooks and sugars and flours, and they're more like a low carb. And but I sometimes use their sugar. This is like a gentle sweet. It's erythritol and stevia blend. And this would be a Walmart comparison. They have this at Walmart, or I think I got this big bag at Sam's Club. And they have the same thing, except they do have natural flavors in it. So I will use that, and sometimes I will bake with the Trim Healthy Mama's baking flour and other blends and stuff, and that is all gluten-free. It's more of an almond flour and other mixes. So, but I think that's it. Oh, let me show you the stevia drops. This is from the Sweet Drops, and I have gotten these off of VitaCost, or I won't buy them unless they're like half off, depending on where they're on sale at. And I tried it. It lasts me a really long time. And I don't think I mentioned it, but in my pancake recipe, I used I think about 10 drops, and in there, I didn't use any other sugar. I just used these. But if I was going to also mention about with the pancakes, it can be used, especially if you put it on the griddle. Makes good sandwich bread. I started doing that a while back, and my son liked it, and also my husband. He's like, hey, do you have any of that stuff, that pancakes left? Because he liked it as a sandwich. So you have to be creative when you're gluten-free, but I may try to talk about some breads we use maybe next time. Over the years, some breads, you don't know what they are because of the taste. And some are like, wow, that's really good. So I think we've narrowed down to the ones that we like and that we use. We did find recently that Trader Joe's had some gluten-free hamburger buns, and if you've ever had gluten-free hamburger buns, they're usually cardboard. But these, my son, who's 17 now, liked them, and he was excited that he had a hamburger, a bun to go with his hamburger. So, but I appreciate you watching this recipe. I hope this is an encouragement to you. If you have any secrets or great ideas or recipes that are your favorite, please share below. I appreciate you watching. Thank you. Okay, tonight's dinner is going to be pancakes. I will probably make some bacon and eggs also, but I wanted to show you how I make high protein pancakes using these 3 ingredients. Eggs, cottage cheese, don't ooh yet. My husband does not like cottage cheese, but he will eat these pancakes. And I want to show you, when I get this brand, the few ingredients that it does have. Now, if you compare that to some brand name ones, it's quite a bit. And then rolled oats, gluten-free. These are from Trader Joe's, and for half a cup, just letting you look at the nutrition facts there. I have said before, my second one is a type 1 diabetic, plus yes, celiac. We all have gluten-free. So I like to get as much protein in the diet as possible, and with this you're also getting the fiber in the pancakes. So, okay, I'm going to get started here. Let me get my measuring cup out. This recipe, I don't know where I found it, but I didn't realize that I think it's popular. It's been a few years because I was looking for something sort of, I guess, really a low carb, but it's equal amounts. So if you get a can of, I mean, not a can, but a container of cottage cheese, it tells me that a half a cup is 6 servings. So that's going to be 3 cups automatically, so I don't even have to measure that out. And then 4 eggs will equal a cup of, so you want a cup of this, a cup of eggs, which would be 4, and then a cup of oats. I'm going to do 3 cups because I'm going to use this whole container, and I have 12 eggs. I have 1, 2, 3 cups, and then I have a whole nother bag of the oats. So this is the only mixer I have, and it works fine. It will overfill, but that is okay. It will still work. I think for this mixer, I try to just do, I think go wet first, because then it will come up. So, I'm gonna do all the eggs. Okay, I have the eggs in there, so now I'm going to measure out the oats. Okay. Woo. That looks like it's going to be tight. I think I usually put the eggs on top because I know they'll sink down in there a little bit. But we'll see how this goes. Let me turn the oven on to 350. And grab that for the stirring. I might see if I can push that down a little bit in there. I'm not sure 3 cups of, okay, I'm not sure 3 cups could fit in there, but we'll see. mic. Tear the top off there first. I just go ahead and make my decision. Sometimes I double this and I'll do it twice. And double the pancakes, and then I can freeze them. Freeze half of them, and really in about 5 days I'm pulling, or even less, I can pull out the next batch. So let's plug it in. I'm gonna look at it and spoon it down just a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna make sure it's mixed real good. Gotta make sure the lid's on tight. Now, it is pretty much like pancake mix. And tonight, I'm not going to use the griddle. I'm going to use my huge pan. I don't know if you can see that. This is what, a 15 by 10? I'm trying to think how big those pans are. I'm going to use some parchment paper and spray it with a little, just so. It really doesn't need that much because I don't know, it seems like it doesn't really stick that bad. And then if you watch it pour, it's pretty much like pancake mix. Let me see. And because I'm doing it this way, they probably will be a little bit thicker. So, I mean, you could probably just have one. Try to get some of that off there. Probably should have used a spatula. And I will just smooth it out to the 4 corners of the pan. Okay. Now, these are agave, which is, I'm trying to see if you can see that. My type 1 might use that, or I will make Trim Healthy Mama syrup. This actually, I feel like makes his blood sugar drop a little bit. But my other boys like to use powdered sugar, and this I just found on clearance. Actually, sometimes I just get regular powdered sugar. So I'm gonna get this in the oven, and I am going to say 350. I'm probably gonna check on it maybe 8-10 minutes. It shouldn't really take that long, and then that'll give me time to make up some eggs. I don't have the bacon cooked yet, but some of them that are eating the bacon are not even home yet, so that'll be okay. We'll make it later for them. And that's it. I will show you how it looks when it's done. Okay, I wanted to let you see this coming out of the oven. I want to say, I'm not sure why my oven is still saying it's on, but it is. I probably cooked this more like 15 minutes on 350, but it is pretty firm. It's a little bit thinner than I thought, so that's actually probably good, but it is somewhat thick. So, but they are very filling. So a couple of my boys may only eat one. And then I'll just slice them up, so four, might be at least 16 slices. So just wanted to share that with you. Okay. And here is our plate of pancake and bacon. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this type of content, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I'm hoping to do some more gluten-free type videos. If there's anything that you are interested in that maybe I could help with or you have questions about, please comment below. So I hope you all have a great day. Thank you.